How do real estate tax sales work? Welcome back. In this episode, I'm going to answer your question, how do real estate tax sales work? I always call them a tax auction, but a lot of people call it a tax sale. So let's talk a little bit about that. I'm Ted Thomas. I've been in real estate since 1970. However, the last 30 years, I found a nice stable business, and that's tax liens and tax deeds. So I love this business. I'm going to give you some insight to this business and show you how to make some real money. Now, only a few people take the time to research and understand tax sales or tax auctions or even tax liens. But this is a government-mandated program that's been around for 200 years. So I teach you about that today, and I'm also going to answer questions about that. So before I finish this video, I want you to know at the very end of the video, I'm going to give you a couple of remedies, a way to avoid mistakes at the auction. Now, I see a lot of people making mistakes at the auction. Now, two of the mistakes that they make at the auction, I'm going to give you at the very end of this video. So watch for that and be sure and not leave. I'll be right back. In this episode, I'm going to share strategies and I'm going to eliminate a lot of the guesswork on investing in real estate sales. Okay, now these real estate sales are tax auctions and tax sales, whichever you want to call them. Now, lots of people make big mistakes, and I told you I'd cover that later on in this particular session, okay? Now, tax deeds and tax liens are a big business in the United States. There's over 5,000 auctions. Think about that. 5,000 auctions, and they're conducted in 3,000 different counties. Now, anybody can attend the auction. I tell people go and watch a few times before you bid, but if you're really into this, you want to go right away, you can buy a property for $500. You can buy one for $50,000, and you can buy one for $500,000. There's all different amounts at these auctions. They're selling property because the county basically needs money. Now, these are auctions. Okay, the question asked about tax sales, but let me tell you this. It's an auction, and as soon as the people hear those words auction, they get all excited. Big bells start going off in the head. Bargains, bargains, bargains. Well, there are definitely bargains there, but you need to get trained. You need to understand a little bit about these bargains and what to do and what not to do. Okay, so this video is about tax sales, which are really tax auctions, okay? So keep your mind open to that. It's going to be an auction. It's going to start very close to the back taxes, and I don't know where it'll end up, but you want to buy it low so that you can sell it quickly. Now, how did this property ever get to the auction? Let's understand that, and that's important. The local county and the state have gotten together, they cooperate, and they've decided to give the county treasurer power, and the power is to levy taxes, collect the taxes, and if they can't collect the taxes, the treasurer will confiscate the property. Now, once they've confiscated, believe me, the county does not want that property. What they want is the revenue. So they'll put it on a list, usually once a year, or places like some counties and states will actually do it once a month, but they will have auctions. Now, you can find those auctions basically on the county website. You can also find them in the newspaper. They have to publicize them. So once they've publicized all that, well, then you can find the list and you can pick any property that you want to buy at that auction. Now, will there be auction rules? Yes, and I'll talk to you a little bit about those. But let's learn some of the inside secrets of what's really going on here. Number one, the county needs money. What do they need money for? Well, they got to pay the county employees. They have to pay for the firefighters. They have to pay for the police department. They have to pay for the school teachers. So the county needs money. So they're not in the business of trying to raise the price on real estate. They're going to sell that real estate and get it back on the tax roll. They want to get their money from the tax roll. So every property that's in delinquency is not paying taxes. They just want to get back taxes or get it back on the tax roll. All right, so the county doesn't want the property, so keep that in the back of your mind. They're going to sell every property they can. Sometime they'll just drop the price to anything to get it off the default list and get it back being sold. Now, if you have comments and you have questions, you can put those below me, and if you want to ask those questions, put them there. We'll answer all the questions, and when you ask a question, you'll get a nice gift, and I'll tell you about that in just a couple of minutes. All right, now the starting price at the auctions are generally very close to the back taxes. So if they confiscated the property, they're going to resell it for very close to that amount, plus some late fees and things like that. They want to get rid of it. Now, here's the big surprise to all of you. When they sell the property at auction, the county takes the mortgage off the property and off the property records. So the mortgage is excluded. It's off the property. So you're now buying a property for 10 cents, 20 cents, 30 cents on the dollar. Or let's think of it this way. You're buying properties for 70, 80, even 90% discounts at these auctions. It doesn't get a lot better than that, especially when you don't have a mortgage. So keep that in the back of your mind. This is the place to buy properties. All right. Now, the new owner, when they end up with this property, is going to be the person that pays the most at the auction. So you don't want to go there with the intention of being the most. You want to let some of these properties go to higher bidders because you want to make a bargain. You want to get this property as cheap as possible and then not have any mortgage on it, and then you can sell it any way you want. You can sell it in the marketplace with Craigslist or online or however you want. Now, who's auctioning the property? It's really the county that's organizing all that, so they might have a county employee come up from their desk and go out there and auction it. Now, a county employee is not going to be able to do that in the counties that have large populations. Now, I'm talking about a Los Angeles or a Dade County, Miami, or a Dallas or a Houston. They're probably going to get a professional auctioneer to come there and do the auctioning. All right. I would much prefer to have a county employee because they just want to get rid of the property. The auctioneer likes to boost the price up. So the point is, these properties are going to be sold professionally. The auctions are professionally run. This is all mandated by the county. I didn't create any of this. The counties did that. This system of doing this is 200 years old. Now, I want you to think about that. 200 years old. Everything I'm talking about is legal, and most people haven't even heard about it. So you're not going to find large crowds at regular auctions. Now, regular auctions are going to be in the counties that have small populations where you'll find 25, 50, 100 properties. Medium-sized populations, you'll find 100 or 200 properties. But nationwide, there's thousands, I mean thousands, of tax defaulted properties. They're taking like 5,000 for the year in all 3,000 counties. Now, you're going to learn how to do this online, so you'll be able to do it that way. So there's no reason that you wouldn't know about this, but nobody's telling you about it. So I'm an educator. That's what I do. I know there's lots of hype on the internet. There's lots of hype at real estate. I'm not going to give you a lot of hype. I'm going to just give you the inside secrets. I'm a practitioner. I make my living buying these kind of properties. I make my living teaching people how to do this. Why haven't you heard about it? Well, I'll tell you right now. Brokers aren't going to tell you. Financial planners aren't going to. Investment advisors, none of them are going to tell you. Why? Because they don't get paid to tell you. I get paid to tell you because I'm an educator. Those people are working on commission. You don't pay any commission for them to tell you, so they're certainly not going to do that. Now, what kind of properties are you going to get at these auctions? All right, there's going to be A properties, B properties, C's and D's. You're going to get a lot of C's and D's. You're not going to get the A properties over in the country club. Yes, they come up, but the bidders that go after those are bidding sky high. Now, you can't go to the auction and bid sky high if you want to make money. You got to be a bargain hunter and look for the 70, 80, and 90% discounts with no mortgage. So that's why we're getting these C and D properties. Now, who are we going to sell them to? Well, there's lots of people that can't start out with a $300,000 house, so they're looking for a smaller house. There's a ton of people out there, maybe 20 or 30%, that can't get financing at all because they've had some credit issues along the line, or maybe they had a divorce or a bankruptcy. Those people need a little help, so now you can help those people. You can get them into a bargain property. So I like to say, I want you to buy low and sell low. Now, that's the opposite of any real estate course. Every real estate course does the same thing. Buy it low, sell it high. Sounds good. I'm going to tell you what will really work. What will really work is buy it low, sell it low, move on to the next one. There's lots of auctions, lots of money to make. All right, now the county is not in the business. They're not in the business of property. They're in the business of having revenue and administering the county. So they want to get this property sold at a lower price than normal with no mortgage. And what they want to do is get that property back on the tax roll. So that's their whole business, okay? If they can get the property on the tax roll, now they can pay the school teachers, they can pay the road maintenance, they can pay the firefighters, they can pay the police department. You getting the idea? They need money coming in to take care of all those services. Now, there's going to be lots of properties that there won't be any bids on. You're saying, what? No bids? There's going to be properties that have no bids. Now, that doesn't mean it's not still for sale. The county will take it off the auction list when they finish the auction, and they'll put it on another list. And for you, just write the words down. It's called the over-the-counter list. 99% of the people don't know about it, but the over-the-counter list is properties that didn't sell at the auction. You can go and pick over those properties. You can research them, and you can make offers right over the county to buy those properties. All right, now I'm going to answer a couple of questions before I go, and I'm going to do that right now. Someone asked, can we show proof? So let me show you some brochure. This is a brochure from one of the counties in New York. Now, this county is called Sullivan County. It's about an hour from New York City. I bought there myself. And so let me get out. This is an auction brochure. This auction brochure, let me see on the front, says there's 355 properties for sale right on the brochure. Okay, they're going to sell every one of those properties. They'll list in this brochure. I just printed it from online. All right, they're going to sell every one of those properties for back taxes. All right, let me find just a representative property. All right, now they're going to have residential property. They're going to have residential land. They're going to have commercial properties. I marked this one because it was right in the easy range. It's number 243 at this auction. Okay, it's 11 Conway Road on the town of Mamakin, I think they call that. All right, now this property has a value of $151,000. Not my value. It says market value. I'm not determining the value. Tax collector does that, okay? Of $151,000, and you could buy it for the starting bid of the back taxes. You can start at the back taxes. Now think about that. Now there's not just one or two. There's going to be 100. Now remember, there's 3,000 counties in the United States. This is happening everywhere. It's not happening in just one or two counties. Now, what you notice I'm not doing is I'm saying, I bought this one and I got rich on one. I don't believe that. I believe you're going to buy one, you're going to learn how to do it, you're going to sell it at a decent price to make a profit of 20 or 25 or 30, maybe 50,000. Go on to the next one. Don't try to retire on one property. Buy one, get it sold, learn how to do it. You can do this for the rest of your life. Let's talk about a couple of mistakes that I promised I'd tell you about. Mistake number one, don't buy a property unless you've seen it. Now, I go to these auctions all the time. I see people raising their hand. They're bidding for property. They've never seen the property. You don't want to buy a property that you haven't had boots on the ground and you haven't seen it. Now, if you don't see it yourself, hire someone to go look at it. We'll show you how to do that. But my point is, don't buy a property you haven't seen it. Now, what if there was a hurricane yesterday? What if the property had a fire? What if it was next to a chicken farm? You're getting the idea, so you don't want to do that. Now, there's a second mistake I'm concerned about, and that is exit strategy. Now, a lot of people are really fired up when they get to this auction. They want to be successful. I completely understand that. But don't start bidding on property that you haven't looked at and you don't have an exit strategy. So if you don't know what you're going to sell it for, how do you know when to stop bidding? Now, some people say, well, Ted, I got to the auction, I just wanted to win. Well, you don't want to win. You want to be able to buy a property at a bargain price and be able to sell it at a profit. So you got to know what the margin is. So that's exit strategy. You need both of those. Now, look, I've got a couple of great gifts for you. It's all encompassed in one. Let me reach over here to my desk and I'll get it. Gift number one is all about tax lien certificates and tax liens and how to profit on those. Now, this is no small book. This is quite a manual that you'll learn that. In addition to that, I've also got a manual. And as a matter of fact, I picked up the wrong one, but that's okay. All right, this one is all about tax defaulted property and tax deeds. Teach you how to make money with tax deeds. And that's another powerful manual that you're going to get. Now, we're not going to stop there. I know you'd like to see some video, so why don't we put some online video? I'm going to show you this is a video package, but you're going to get the videos, but you're going to get them all online. So I'm Ted Thomas. Be sure and register below, and I'll send you all those gifts.